ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः। ओम वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदों गंगणपते नमः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सर्वमंगलमांगल्ये शिवे सर्वार्थसाधिके शरण्ये त्र्यंबके देवी नारायणि नमोस्तुते। या देवी सर्वभूतेषु महालक्ष्मीरूपेण संस्थिता। नमस्तस्यै 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 नमो नमः। ओम नमो नारायणाय, ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय, श्री हनुमते नमः, श्री सद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। Welcome to Nitya Satsang. Today is the 25th of August 2025. I want to offer my prostrations to all the great sages and to Bhagavan, Paramatma, Ishvara, residing in the heart of every single being and at all places at all times. Ishavasyam idam sarvam. I want to welcome you all to this morning's contemplative satsang. There are some new people online also, so I want to welcome everyone online as well as people listening to this, devotees listening to these contemplative reflections independently. We are continuing until the end of this year, maybe into next year also, on Prem Lakshana Bhakti. Quite a few number of recordings have been already done on this subject, and many are yet to come from multiple different perspectives. As a quick reminder, the Navdha Bhakti, 9 forms of devotion, is the actual base level sadhana. That is the root level sadhana. So that is Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma, Nivedanam. This is our base. So for anybody who wants to be a bhakta, wants to move into the dimension of being a bhakta, into that mode of bhakti, what is the key? These 9 forms of devotion are the absolute base for that. That is the foundation. And it is based on this foundation that the love for Bhagavan, God is only one, God is not two. It is monotheistic or monistic, if you want to look at it that way also. Paramatma एक ही तत्व है. जिसको कहते हैं अक्षर से भी पर, भगवान परब्रह्म, तस्मात् शरमतीतोहम अक्षरादपि चोत्तम अतोस्मि लोके वेदे च प्रतितः पुरुषोत्तमः. This is in the Gita. Chapter 15 is very clear of the Bhagavad Gita. भगवान इसमें कहते हैं कि मैं शर और अक्षर से परे हूँ. I am the ultimate one tattva. So भगवान कितने हैं? एक ही है. And then many manifestations, many incarnations, many forms. Everything is in some sense a form of Bhagavan. भगवान सिवाय और कुछ है ही नहीं. That is the actual realization. Now we are talking about bhakti. Always in bhakti there is going to be some level of dualistic bhav, dvaita bhav. Dvaita bhav meaning that there's bhakta and there's Bhagavan. Dvaita in that sense, right? You can see the beautiful PowerPoint that I've put up here of the images of Sri Krishna Bhagavan. The reason that the vigraha that is created in tradition in thousands and thousands of years, why is that? Because that is how our heart can connect with God through the Archa avatar. ये जो भगवान की जो मूर्ति है, इसको क्या कहते हैं? It is called Archa avatar. It is an incarnation. It is the same tattva as the supreme reality. जो भगवान का स्वरूप सच्चिदानंद चिन्मय स्वरूप in the गोलोक धाम. गोलोक धाम में जो भगवान श्री कृष्ण परमात्मा का जो स्वरूप है, का तत्व है, that same tattva is present in the vigraha avatar. Archa avatar, right? So that is to be understood. Now again, we are talking about bhakti, the 10th bhakti. So the 10th bhakti is called Prem Lakshana Bhakti in Satsangi Jivan as per Shatanand Muni, and Naradji has also talked about Prema Bhakti. Other devotees have also. There are many amazing developments inside that realm of emotion. So our emotion is primary in bhakti because bhakti means sneha. In Shikshapatri, Swaminarayan Bhagavan क्या कहते हैं कि स्नेहो भक्तिश्च माधवे, महात्म ज्ञान युग भूरि स्नेहो भक्तिश्च माधवे. भगवान कृष्ण की जो अति स्नेह सहित भक्ति, अति स्नेह करीने भगवान ने भक्ति. So sneha means what? It is a deep emotional bond with Bhagavan. That is the point. So that deep emotional bond is what we are wanting. Now, how do we develop this? And then what are the obstructions in this bond? There was a question asked by somebody this morning, and I'll address that here. What happens when we are surrounded by individuals, people that are draining our energy, deflecting us from the inner development? Does that happen? Sure. Of course it happens. It happens quite often. When a person, an individual, a mumukshu, has set the destination, the dheya, that we want to realize Bhagavan, want to be in connection with Paramatma, all kinds of situations come about. Sometimes obstacles come about, people come about that will try to pull the individual in different ways. How to deal with that? The first step is to be very, very steady. Do not be reactive. Try to listen to what they're saying. Situation jo aa rahi hai, be very sthirta. Bhagavan Krishna teaches in the Gita, be extremely steady. That is called sthita pragna. Isko sthir kehte hai, sthir muni kehte hai. Like this, so many words are there. It's about the actual state of internal steadiness. That is the foundation. Now that steadiness is going to come about by Jnana and Bhakti combined together. So let's talk about that a little bit more and see where that takes us. Jnana and Bhakti combined together means what? That the 9 forms of devotion continue. We listen to the bhajan kirtan, we do mantra jap, all these things. This is a way to connect our mental activity, the activity of the antakarana, with Ishta Devata, chosen deity. Alright. So what is Jnana? Jnana has multiple dimensions to it to keep us free. So Jnana and Vairagya are 2 sides of the same coin. They keep us free from inside. When situation is going on outside, with family, with friends, with job, with whatever is happening, it should not, the goal is for not to let that disturb our internal steadiness. Why is that? Because we are trying to build the Mana Mandir. Mana Mandir mein Bhagwan ki pratishta karni hai. Inside of us. To build the temple from inside, so our mind becomes mandir. That's what the meaning of mandir is also. Mind becomes still, that's fine. But we want to be a mandir. Brahma bhav mein jana hai. Okay, the first and most important step in this is antarik sthirta. Antakaran ki sthirta. Sthir rehna chahiye, steadiness. Whatever may be going on, anybody may be saying anything. Maan apman mein ekata, sukh dukh mein sambhav. Maan deta hai koi, apman karta hai. Whatever is going on. Some negative things are somebody's saying, some positive things somebody's saying. Situations, all kinds of people come across. Be very careful. Don't allow anybody on the outside, anybody, any person, any being, any situation on the outside to contaminate the inside. Don't allow that. That is not selfishness, that is self-responsibility. That is not selfishness, that is self-responsibility. इसीलिए राधिका जी को प्रार्थना करनी चाहिए, with the Radha mantra and by the Vigraha of Shri Radha Rani, to touch her feet and bless us with all of these extraordinary qualities that is going to protect love. Understand this point. If we want to be in love, we want to love only, we want only love to remain and nothing else to remain, then this is what all of this entire series is about. This is what Radha ji is about. The entire manifestation of Shri Radha ji and Guru Paramparas. Many Guru Paramparas have come in Vrindavan, in Bengal, in Gujarat, in South India, throughout the Sanatan Dharma that emphasize Shri Radha ji. So those paramparas have come to open that doorway into prasannata, into the link with Shri Radha. See the word, the Radha and Dhara. Dhara means that the mind, senses are getting dispersed outside. That is called Dhara. And Radha is there all coming inside the heart and connecting with Bhagavan Krishna in love. That is called Radha. So Radha and Dhara. So when situations are coming up from outside, steadiness. Mantra jap. Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, Sri Krishna Tvam Gatir Mama, Ishtadev ka naam ratan karna. That is one sadhana. Whatever the Ishta Devata is, it could be Durga Devi, it could be Lakshmi Devi, it could be Bhagavan Shankar, it could be Swaminarayan Bhagavan, it could be Lakshmi Narayan Bhagavan. Jo aapko swarup priya hai, Bhagavan to ek hi hai, God is only one, God is not two. But you have to start somewhere in some path. So one mantra, one Ishta Dev, one main Tattva Gnan scripture, which is Bhagavad Gita for everybody. Bhagavad Gita is the absolute base. You can never reject the Bhagavad Gita. Anybody doing so is totally lost. Bhagavad Gita is absolutely the base for Tattva Gnan. Right? For every kind of Gnan. Doesn't matter which Upasana somebody is doing. Gita ji ka foundation hona hi chahiye. Okay, now with that, now we continue the progression. So as we are trying to connect with Paramatma, in that attempt, so many obstacles can come. Different people, situations, circumstances, somebody says something, all that kind of thing goes on. Steadiness, sthirta. Then with the steadiness, this is the key. Through the steady state, respond without entanglement. Is it possible? This is the sadhana. This is the fusion of Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. Karma Yoga and Bhakti Yoga are fused together, connected together, immersed together when we can respond to other people, situations, circumstances, that which is going on outside. The response is without entanglement, without raga and dvesha, in the appropriate context for the benefit of that situation and for yourself. That is this technology. That is a technology shown in the Bhagavad Gita. See, so this is a key point. That technology is a technology of internal development of Shakti. Because that Shakti is Ojas. This is what we've been talking about last several days. The Ojas Shakti is the refined power that is also Tejas. Ojas plus Tejas. When you combine them together, Tejas is the effulgence. Tejasvi Jivan ban jata hai. Mindful living, bhakti-may, contemplative, not getting lost into Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Matsar, getting rid of those obstructions, and so that Tejasvi Jivan ban jata hai. Bhakti-may Jivan ban jata hai. Anandamay Jivan ban jata hai. See, the place where we're going to find God is only within ourselves. God is everywhere. The external world, Bhagavan is present in the external world. And God is also present in the inner world. So the internal world and the external world, there's a link between the two. That is the body. The body, mind, senses is the link between the two. Bahya Jagat, Antar Jagat. So the internal world is where our attention needs to be more. Why is that? Because in the internal world is where all of this confusion is going on. So that has to be, that we can make it steady and clean it up essentially. Antar Jagat Swachha Karna. It is the cleanliness of the internal world. This is the power of Navda Bhakti and Prema Bhakti. Now, as we progress in this path, the link gets solidified. It is Vritti. Vachanamrut Garada Pratham 1, Shriji Maharaj Swayam कहते हैं ना, भगवान ना स्वरूप मा मन अखंड वृत्ति राखवी तेथी कोई साधन कठिन नथी. अखंड वृत्ति, अनन्य चिंतन, मयि आवेश मनोए माम. All scriptures are teaching this. That is the goal. That doesn't happen just like that. It can take thousands of lifetimes. But we don't want to wait for thousands of lifetimes. We want that now. It depends how badly we want something. Isn't it so? Hamari Icha. Remember in our Angel Wing program we have the 5 points. Thought, emotion, memory, desire, energy. Desire is Icha. Sachin can ask this question today. And this is our sadhana for today. What is the intensity with which we want to be connected with Bhagavan? How much intensity is there? Intensity is tivra ichha. Tivra mumukshutvam. How much intensity is there to be liberated? Shankaracharya ji uses the word tivra mumukshutvam. We can also use this word tivra ichha. भगवान का साक्षात्कार करना है, इसमें कितनी इच्छा है हमारे? Look honestly in the mirror. And this is the beauty. When we are sitting in front of Shri Radha ji, Shri Krishna, because we're using them as our focus, but you can have any Ishta Devata, आपकी इच्छा, कोई बात नहीं. Doesn't matter even which religious, as long as there's belief in God, any which way you can proceed, no problem. Ekam sat vipraha bahuda vadanti. Satya to ek hi hai, wo ek hi, we have to reach only one place. The mountain is there, mountain top is only one. Reach however you want to reach, but reach to that mountain top. All right. So the point is, when we are aiming towards that, there will be this progression further. As we are progressing one step at a time, there is a looking honestly, several questions. Is there within this mind Shuddha and Tivra Mumukshutvam? ये बहुत बड़ा प्रश्न है. Very important question. Mumukshutvam is the desire for liberation. The one who is a mumukshu has recognized the limitations of the panch vishayas. कि ये जगत में सुख limited सुख है. सुख और दुख का द्वंद. It is a duality of sukham and dukham. We want to be out of this. We want to go beyond that into the ananda. Right? So one who wants that ananda, one who wants to realize the ananda is called mumukshu. Satchidananda. That is called mumukshutva. Now the development of mumukshutvam is also at various stages. You see, so the more we are clear about the transitoriness of the material world, the limitations of the material world, the coming and going of all beings in the material world, the experiences that are constantly changing again and again and again, if that is really clear, if, it's a big if, because that's a matter of meditation, or Santa Samagam, by listening to this great teachers, the great spiritual talks, there's a clarity, wisdom that dawns that everything is anitya. Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji कहते हैं nitya, nitya, anitya vastu viveka. Very clear. This has to be clear in the heart. It is not about Sachin telling anybody anything. This is not about Sachin or anybody else. This is just being transmitted. What has come in 10,000 year tradition is being transmitted here. For this mind body and for all of you also, if it is the will of God. Right? So Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji, he's very clear. Nitya, anitya, vastu, viveka. Without this viveka, that 10th bhakti will not open. So another way to put it, let's develop the viveka. What is the viveka? What is nitya, anitya? This entire sansar is anitya. Aaj hai, kal nahi. You see, so many people have come and gone. People we know, grandparents, other relatives, elderly people, this person, that person, jo bhi hai. So many people come, they live for some time, the bodies come and go. Antavante ime deha, nitya sukta sharirinaha. Gita ji. And this is in our observation. So that viveka comes inside when we sit for dhyan. हम ये माला लेते, we take a jap mala, pavitra banke, sit in front of the murti of Radha and Krishna. Unke aage baithna with the Bhagavad Gita in the hand or in the in a small stool. Jo sadgranth hai. Gita, you should have Gita or scripture. Have bhajans available, which are available easily through our iPods and iPads. I mean, there's all this YouTubes and all. There's no end to all that. It's available. Bhagwan ka vigraha and take a mala. This is the technology. Sit in front of the Paramatma that you are real. Bhagwan ka swarup satya hai. Atma is real. The Shastra, Bhagavad Gita is real. Bhagavatam is real. Vachanamrutam is real. Wo satya hai. Vivek Chudamani is real. And this sansar and rag, dvesh, aham, mamatva, klesh, is all this that is going on. It is real temporarily. Vyavarika satyam. it is actually of no consequence. Consequence as far as the ultimate realization is concerned. Paramarthika Satyam. It has consequence in terms of interaction. We live in the world with Karma Yoga, but that's it. Beyond that, there's no getting lost inside the jungle of the sansar. The sansar is a jungle. That's why Bhagavan Krishna says, cut this tree in chapter 15. Asanga Shastrena. I keep saying that verse. It's in chapter 15. Asangatva. Mera kaun hai? Mera Bhagavan hai. Bas. Nobody else. Not anybody else except Bhagavan Krishna and Radhika ji. And Guru Parampara. Guru Parampara ek madhyam hai. Bas. That's all. Get everything else out of the mind. It's there, leave it alone, do not focus on any of it. This is called Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Because our mind is lost inside the jungle of the sansar. This person, that person, this situation, it just endlessly it goes on. Endless contemplation, manan chintan of the activities going on in the world. Do we need to have some level of activity? Yes. We need education, we need to go to work, we need to interact with people. All that is there. That's why Vedanta teaches us Vyavarika Satyam. Yes, at the Vyavarika level, transactional level, absolutely. Interaction has to go on in that way with Viveka, and this is the interesting part, even while the interaction is going on, there is Jnana, that this is all just temporary. But do the activity clearly, properly, and offer it to Bhagavan as Sarva Bhuta Hite Rataha. That is the technology, the technique of staying in the relative world at the Vyavarika level without entanglement, while performing the best duties, while getting the benefits and giving the benefits without any problem caused at all, and without any contamination inside that is coming from outside, and with the Viveka at the same time solidified. Nitya Anitya Vastu Viveka. Every situation is temporary. So, even though it is temporary, doesn't mean we don't interact with it. We do. We go for shopping, we go to friends, we go to relatives, we do everything. But there is a realization that mera ek Paramatma hi hai. That is the ultimate thing. We don't realize, we think we'll do bhakti later on. Anybody given this guarantee we will live for later on? Who has given that guarantee? There's no guarantee even tomorrow will come, or 100 or 10 years from now what we'll be doing. When the body is healthy, mind is healthy, to deliberately, consciously, volitionally dive back into the Swarup of Paramatma. Bhagwan ke Swarup mein doob jana. Go, that is the real goal. And then with that, you will see that the entire Antakarana, it takes a new dimensional jump. Antakarana Shuddha ban jata hai, Divya ban jata hai. It is infused with bhakti. This is the 10th bhakti. That is our goal. Right now, for most human beings, it is infused with the experiences of the world in our memory structure. Thought, emotion, memory. Desire and energy. Inside the memory is the chitta, C-H-I-T-T-A. Memory meaning chitta. That it has tremendous number of memories from our life. Yes, it has to be there. Leave it there. But we are lost in that. The memories are not the Atma. Please understand this. Please see this point very carefully. The memories we have, our internal memories, they are our memories. The memories are not me. Who am I? I am not the memories. The memories are held inside the Antakaran for Anubhav, for living in the relative world. Memories are not at all who we are. We are Chaitanyam. Hamara Swarupi alag hai. But that distinction comes through bhakti, through jnana, dharma, jnana, vairagya, bhakti. Isme se kya hota hai? We can separate that the memories are accessed without any kind of binding. This is our angel wing program, the self-mastery concept. They're accessed. Sachin can access what happened 5 years ago, memories with my family, memories with friends. But am I stuck over there? That is the big question. Where am I bound? See this Sneho Bhaktischa Madhave. Bhagwan Swaminarayan kya kehte in Shikshapatri? That the bhakti is defined as sneha. And in Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu lists 64 qualities that are needed, that will help us towards bhakti. We'll cover some of them later on sometime. In the Bhakti Rasamrut Sindhu, there are 64 qualities of this type. The key is, am I getting stuck inside my memories? And how do we know this? See what's happening at night time in our dreams. Swapna Avastha. Swapna Avastha is a massive prison for humanity. It is a massive, massive, massive prison. Everybody's trapped in it. But we don't want to be trapped in Swapna Avastha. Swapna Avastha mein kya aana chahiye? This is our barometer. Bhagavan और भगवान के जो अनुभव है, दिव्य अनुभव है, वो ही आने चाहिए. That nothing else, absolutely nothing else should pop up there. That is the real evolved. वो इसको कहते हैं जीवन मुक्त. हाँ, if we want real ananda, want freedom, which is swatantrata, we want ananda, we want to be away from that paratantra state. Paratantra to swatantra. The swatantra is the Brahma Bhav, Atma Bhav, Divya Bhav, Akshar Bhav. Aksharam Aham, Purushottama Dasosmi. Brahmoham, Krishna Dasosmi. मैं कौन हूं? मैं दिव्य हूं, मैं ब्रह्म हूं, मैं आनंदमय हूं. Not this limited being with all the torment and craziness that is going on. That's not who I am. That is just an experience happening around the Atma, that the Jivatma is lost inside that jungle. That's not me. That is the whole point of Advaita Vedanta. Isko separate kar dena. Separate it out with tremendous jnana. It is called, in Gujarati we say paripakva jnana. Paripakva jnani. Purna jnani. And Bhagavan Krishna kya hai? Swayam kehte jnani mera atma hai. He's me only. You know, the Jnani is not just a person with a lot of information, lots of verses and lots of information memorized and talking a lot. That is fine. That is a way to express the spirituality. Jnani is one who sees the Satyam, what is real. The Atma Tattva, Brahma Tattva, Parabrahma Tattva, iska anubhav mein rehte hai. That is called Jnani. You see, so Jnani is not just with people with information. No, that Jnan is a highly developed, highly evolved state. Right? So that is a support for Bhakti. So Jnan and Bhakti go together. Dharma, Jnan and Vairagya. All three of them are supporters and protectors of Akhanda Bhakti. Now, along these lines, as we are progressing, as we are moving hour by hour, day by day, it is just a determination through the grace of Radhika Ji, by touching her feet, offering flowers and asking for her blessings, that you free me and you bless me with bhakti. Yes, we can ask and you shall receive, as the Bible states. We have to ask, right? If we don't ask, then how we will get? We have to ask. Ask for bhakti and see the amazing thing that happens. Then the link begins. You know, it is a sambandha. It is called the establishment of the relationship, the divine relationship, the loving relationship with God. We have relationships already with all kinds of people and everything else. Fine, let it be. But now add this relationship. That relationship with Paramatma is the only relationship that's going to matter. All the other relationships are going to all be blown away. Every single relationship will be blown away. Nothing will, because the body itself will be gone. What relationship we will have with who? So Atma, the Atma Jnana, Atma or Bhagavan, Atma or Paramatma, this is the link, this is the relationship. There's a beautiful bhajan, Ante jau uthi ekala sanga chale na koi pandita ranka ne raye ke. One of the Paramahansas of Maharaj wrote this beautiful bhajan. कौन आएगा हमारे साथ? When we try to keep this in mind, that the end point of this body, nobody's going to come with us. No credentials are going to come, no bank account is going to come, no person is going to come, no doctor can help us, no nurse can help us, no medicine can help us, nothing is going to help us. Remember this point. Garada Ante number 30 Vachanamrut. Maharaj कहते इसको अनुसंधान रखना है. Anusandhan means awareness of this point. When we are aware of this, whole life becomes cleaned up. It becomes straight. Where exactly we need to go. What we need to do. we are caught in the illusion and the delusion that thinking that this sansar is nitya. वो नित्य नहीं है. It is here one day, gone the next. People are here one day, gone the next. कौन किसी का है? कोई किसी का नहीं है. Not anybody is out. ये शरीर ही हमारा नहीं है. This sharir has been given by God to live out karma and to perform activity for bhakti, etc. So please be clear. It doesn't mean you're running away. It means simply that there is a non-entangled interaction with the people of the world, the family, with all sansar. Each jivatma is on their own path, living by their own vasanas. Uske saath kya lena dena hai? The moment you get attached to any person in this sansar, is trouble begins. Even one person, we get attached to anybody inside this sansar except Paramatma, anybody as a being, that will cause millions of rebirths. Just one attachment. This is in the Bhagavatam. That Bharatji left the whole kingdom and went to the forest. He got attached to the dove, the baby deer. And that caused 3 births to happen. You see, so be very, very careful. इसीलिए maximum powers in the mala. Bhagwan ka naam, Bhagwan ka swarup, Bhagwan ke shastra, vritti paramatma mein, and to consider everything it's there, do our duty and move out of it. Get the mind out, get it unstuck from all this thing. That is how the Jivan Mukta Sthiti happens. Of course, now the same Paramatma is residing everywhere. So the interaction with all in the sansar is love. Vairagya doesn't mean non-love. Vairagya plus bhakti is non-entangled interaction with all. Bhakti minus vairagya is not bhakti at all. It is asakti. It is bandhan. Bandhan, itna bandhan hota hai internally in the system. Don't ask. You get a bird from the store and you bring a parakeet at home. Iske saath itna bandhan ho jayega, that bird will be flying around in your mind. Guaranteed. It will start, because you'll be bound to that. Isiliye be very careful. Unless you can see that bird is Garuda. Divine, make it divine. Divya drashti rakhna. Ye Bhagwan Vishnu ka swarup hai. Bas. Then there's no bandhan. You have children at home, koi baat nahi. See them as form of God. Bhagwan usme hai. Don't feel ye mera hai. That is where the trouble comes. Mera tera, isme competition, this, that. Then the trouble really begins. No, put everything into the divine light. That's what Bhagwan Krishna ki agnya hai. See me everywhere. Yomam pashyati sarvatra. Sarvam cha mayi pashyati. Bhagwan Krishna ka jo vigrah hai, everything is inside that murti. That is the Shraddha. And that same Paramatma is inside everybody. Then doesn't matter. You can have animals at home, you can have cows, you can have this, you can have 10 kids if you want. You can have whatever you have. Bhagwan mein vritti rakhni. That Chaitanyam is there. That what is mine? This is just a mechanism. Mera kaun hai? Atma or Paramatma. So with that bhav, this is the foundation for the opening into the 10th bhakti. Everything Sachin here spoke right now, all of these points, when you put them together, then we can reach Gopi bhav. Then we can reach that extraordinary bhavna where there is this unbroken prem, akhanda prem. There is no break in that prema. That non-breakage of prema bhakti, non-breakage of love towards Paramatma, and then Bhagwan Swayam aate hai. He comes to us with so much krupa and grace, and that is the Bhakta Bhagwan Sambandh. And then in that Sambandha, all activities performed. Okay, so let's stop here for now. We'll pick this up tomorrow. But just one more point. This is where the Ojas, we were talking about Ojas last several days. Ojas plus Tejas. Tejas means Tejasvi. So the Ojas is the refined Shakti. That refined Shakti from the food and everything else that we're eating, the refinement is needed for the establishment of that unbroken, purified love. Love has to be purified. Love is actually pure, but it is Divya Prem. Isliye Ojas and Tejas ki, that is necessary. So Ojas plus Tejas equals, it's the foundation for bhakti. It allows us to evolve into bhakti. So let's stop here for now. We'll pick this up tomorrow. There's a lot more to cover about Ojas plus bhakti in the next week or so. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya Koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurume Deva Sarvakarishu Sarvada. Om Ganganapate Namaha Guru Brahma Guru Vishnu Guru Deva Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Guru Namaha Dhyanamulam Guru Murti Mantramulam Guru Vakyam Pujamulam Guru Padam Mokshamulam Guru Krupa Om Aim Brim Klim Chamdavicham Glom Hum Klim Jum Saham Jwale Jwale Jwala Jwala Prajala Prajala Aim Brim Klim Chamdaviche Jwala Ham Samdam Ksham Phat Swaha Durga Durga Rakshini Tha Tha Swaha Shri Radha Krishna Arpanamastu Om Rim Swaha.